Welcome to the Backstage con Telemundo podcast, where you will hear from all of our stars in front of and behind the camera on what it's like to work for the epicenter of the Hispanic media world and how we bring that juego and fuego to all screens. Ahora sí, vámonos backstage con Telemundo.
La copa es nuestra, ahora es el momento.
Hey, what's up, mi gente? This is Ashley G, Internal Communications Manager for Telemundo and your host of the Backstage con Telemundo podcast. It's a football summer on Telemundo and Peacock as our Spanish language coverage of the Women's World Cup kicks off July 20th. And with just moments away to the big tournament, today, we're going backfield with two of our own unstoppable women, Natalia Astrain, former coach for the U17 U.S. National Women's Soccer Team and guest analyst, and Ivel Alfaro, Vice President of Sports Programming and Production for Telemundo Deportes. Natalia, Evie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. And Natalia, how are you?
I'm very happy. I'm really excited. And yeah, this is a pleasure to be part of this podcast.
Absolutely. We're really excited to have you both here as our first guest, by the way, of the Backstage con Telemundo podcast.
Congratulations.
Isn't this legit?
Yes, it's amazing. Thank you for having us. I feel honored.
Yeah.
Well, we feel honored to have you. We feel honored to have you. Thank you so much for being with us here today. And no spoiler alert, but we're ready to see Team USA bring that trophy home. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
The three-peat.
This is the reason that we go there, right? If not, we don't go.
Absolutely. So let's start with talking about that game. So you both have been in this industry for so many years. Moment of truth. What does it take to bring your best game on and off the field from your unique perspectives? Natalia, empezamos contigo.
I think that for me, one of the most important things is feeling that I am part of the process when I belong something bigger, when you are very involved in a project and you feel like you are part of this process, you have some autonomy. For me, it's really important when you are around the good people, right? Be around good professionals. As a professionals, as a humans, I think this is the factors that for me are really important.
Love that. And as a former soccer coach, can you talk to us about the strategy or process when you're training some of these women to be championship ready?
Well, for me, when in the national team, one of the most important things is attention to details, right? These players come different environments, different teams. And then when I write to you, you need to put a lot of attention to details. For me, one of the most important is the competitive mindset, right? Prepare the player, offer the player, facilitate the player all the tools for them. They feel ready when they are in the field. When they are playing the game, they feel ready and they feel like you already prepared them for the game, no? How they can manage the pressure, how they can manage the emotions, no? For example, in the PKs, in an important moment, the PKs, we prepare in practice with a big speaker, right?
Yeah.
We simulate that we are in a big stadium, the people is yelling us, very hostile situation, and then we prepare the player in this way, no? And then when the players are in the real game, and they need to take this responsibility about the PK, but they feel like they absolutely prepared before and they feel comfortable in these situations, no? For example.
Very interesting. And I got to ask, is there a playlist that comes with this process? Because if there's some songs we need to be listening to be championship ready, we want to know.
Yeah, the players choose the song, the music. Always in the bus when we go practice, when we go to the games, no. But one of the that we choose during the CONCACAF and in the World Cup, for example, was the Waka Waka, the Shakira.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because it was really cool, and this was like the South Africa men's World Cup, and we start sometimes dancing with them and trying to relieve a little the press with them, but yeah, always trying to be like the players feel comfortable and good.
Y animar ese ambiente, básicamente.
Eso.
Absolutely. So, Evie, let's go to your side of the field now. Talk to us about what it takes to bring our best game to the screen. What's the planning process like behind such a magnitude of a production?
Well, I'll give you an example. I started planning this Women's World Cup, the FIFA Women's World Cup 2 years ago. Wow. So back in 2021, along with a lot of my colleagues. So I think the key to a successful delivery of an event and execution of an event is your team. You talked about, bringing what we need to bring our best moment forward to on the field and off the field. And, we're in sports and we are only as good as your team. So having strong leadership and having your team all working together to bring all these moving parts, whether it's operations, transportation, logistics, hotels, wardrobe, talent acquisitions, staffing, all that has to come together in order for this to work seamlessly. So I think that's the key to a successful event is your team, your teamwork, a lot of preparation, planning.
Definitely a huge team effort. And let me tell you, I think I speak on behalf of all of us here at Telemundo when I say that we are just so incredibly proud to be supporting the biggest global sport for women on the biggest global stage. And when you think about the fact that this tournament is already on track to becoming the most attended standalone women's sports event in history. More than 1 million tickets already sold according to FIFA. You feel proud to be part of that momentum. And I think, we just can't wait to see our Mujeres Imparables bring their best game on that field.
Yes, you certainly feel proud. And this particular event is the first, is an event with many firsts. So many more games, an expanded format, more teams, more opportunities for our countries to play in a global event such as this. First time that all the games are on linear television in Spanish. And you talked about feeling proud and all of us here at Telemundo. And once that first whistle, you hear the first whistle, and then you hear the last whistle at the final. It's such a sense of accomplishment because, like I said, we've been planning this for over 2 years. And by the way, in the middle of this planning, we were executing the Men's World Cup. So, imagine. Yeah, it's crazy. But the sense of accomplishment once you've completed this task at hand, it's an indescribable feeling. You feel so proud, and your adrenaline is just kicking in, and you want to do it again. And it's an amazing feeling. So yeah, we should all feel proud.
Absolutely. And Natalia, let's go to you now. You grew up playing on this field. You've seen some of the progress throughout the years. How did it feel, though, to transition from player to coach and then from coach to guest analyst for our World Cup coverage?
Well, for me, this process has been amazing, because always I am a curious person. I always want to learn, and all these areas make to me like always learning, Before I mentioned that for me, it's very important being projects that I feel like I am around good people as a professional and as a person, And I feel when I'm working always with Telemundo in Qatar, the Men's World Cup, was an incredible group of people. And now I have this opportunity to be in Australia, New Zealand, comment the game. It's an unbelievable feeling. I have this honor to be able to explain the people, to trying to transmit and impact in the people is at home, in the TV, and then explain what is happening in the field. This fantastic event, Women's World Cup, and I will be able to explain this. So I feel like I'm honored. And it's a beautiful process, and always I put the focus in the teaching and this tactical, or be able to connect with the people, and this opportunity provides to me this option, to connect with the people.
I gotta ask, do you ever miss being on the field? Does somewhere deep inside of your heart, do you ever miss being on that field kicking that ball?
Yeah, it's true. And I want to explain a situation that happened in the Men's World Cup. I was before the game with Germany and Spain, with Carlota, that she's from Spain as well. And we were waiting for connect before the game and do the intro. And then a ball come close to me in the warm-up, and then I kick the ball, And then Carlota started laughing like, oh my God. I said, oh man, I cannot avoid this, If the ball is around me, was like at this moment, like I was very prepared with the microphone and with the camera, but the ball comes around me, and I could not avoid to kick the ball, no. But yeah, I feel like it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy, and when you are in the stadium, you feel this intensity, this energy from the player, from the people, and you want that the people at home feel this, no? For this, I feel like it's a very important task, and I feel honored. Like, okay, I want to explain the people, and I want the people feel all the things that I'm feeling now in the field.
Well, especially too, because I feel we owe it to these players. And when you think about the fact that many of them come with all of their energy, faith, and dreams for a chance to be one of the few to bring that trophy home, I think it's a huge responsibility we take on our shoulders to make sure that everybody feels that energy and that passion on the field. So another beautiful thing about your experience, Natalia, is that you've been able to manifest your love for football in so many different ways. You've played, you've coached, you've won championships, which I think leads to that holistic, passionate commentary in your analysis. Evie, shifting gears a bit, aside from our amazing commentary team, I think one of the things we're all looking forward to is seeing that culture from Australia and New Zealand come to life on the screen. So can you talk to us a little bit about our coverage plans in that regard, and what makes this tournament so unique at these host nations?
Yes. So a moment ago, I mentioned that this tournament has many firsts. Another first is that it's being hosted in 2 different countries, the first time for a Women's World Cup. So Ana Jurka, one of our hosts, traveled recently to both countries and shot cultural pieces around New Zealand and Australia. So we're going to be sprinkling those stories along the coverage. Not only that, you also mentioned about our responsibility to focus on the athletes, right? We actually sat down with many of the athletes, key athletes in each from different countries, and we're going to be sharing their stories. So some of these athletes perhaps do not have the same types of resources that we're accustomed to. So this is their time to shine, and we gave them that spotlight for them. So a lot of these women have, other jobs, or they, they don't necessarily just only focus on soccer. So this is their moment, and we that way we can connect them to our audience. So that's also important for us.
Love that. And Natalia, let's talk about your story now. Todos sabemos que cuando se trata de los hispanos, el fútbol es vida. Así que cuéntanos, ¿cómo sientes que el fútbol ha influido en ti y en las jugadoras que has entrenado como mujeres y como líderes?
Yo creo que para mí el deporte siempre me ha enseñado a ganar y a perder, ¿no? Y yo creo que las lecciones que más aprendes es cuando pierdes, ¿no? Ganar es fácil y todo el mundo es muy feliz, pero cuando pierdes yo creo que es una lección muy bonita, porque es lo que te pasa también en la vida, ¿no? O sea que yo creo que siempre cuando les hablo a las jugadoras siempre les hago la comparación de que lo que pasa en el fútbol pasa en la vida, y así aprendes a ganar y a perder tanto en la vida como en el fútbol, ¿no? A mí lo que me gusta también es que siempre tienes la oportunidad de levantarte, de que no te puedes rendir, puedes perder un partido, pero siempre vas a tener otra competición. Y esto también se puede trasladar a la vida, porque hay momentos duros, pero al final pues vas a tener otras oportunidades. Quizá no en el mismo partido, pero sí en otra competición, ¿no? O sea que a mí me gusta pues transmitir eso a las jugadoras y que sepan que, sobre todo como lo que dices, ¿no? Que nosotros como hispanos yo creo que hacemos todo con mucha pasión, y eso es lo que yo trato de transmitir. No podemos ver las cosas o el fútbol de una forma distante o fría, ¿no? Yo creo que nos involucramos y ponemos amor y pasión, y eso lo trasladamos también a la forma de vivir, ¿no? O sea que yo sería un poquito eso lo que he transmitido o trato de transmitir a las jugadoras, ¿no?
Me encanta que hayas mencionado eso. Te cuento que siempre cuando hago esta pregunta me recuerdo de un dato muy curioso que dice que 96% de las mujeres que están en posiciones de liderazgo hoy en día han jugado algún deporte en equipo en el pasado. Y en este caso, obviamente estamos hablando del fútbol, pero creo que es un testamento justo a lo que estabas diciendo tú, Natalia, a la importancia de desarrollar esas habilidades de liderazgo, a apoyar a nuestras niñas que tomen o que jueguen un deporte para poder desarrollar eso, y no solamente eso, pero también incrementar a futuro la representación de la mujer en la industria del deporte. ¿Qué piensas tú al respecto a eso?
Pues mira, hay estudios que dicen que la forma que tenemos las mujeres de liderar es mucho más corporativa, mucho más en equipo que los hombres, ¿no? Generalmente dicen que los hombres por estudios son un poquito más jerárquicos. Entonces yo creo que conecta muy bien con lo que has dicho, porque si has comentado que este porcentaje de mujeres que están en el liderazgo han jugado deportes de equipo, representa muy bien esa capacidad que tenemos de asociarnos, de entender que es importante apoyarte en los demás, que no puedes ir sola, ¿no? Que tienes que tener un buen equipo, personas que estén totalmente preparadas, pero que vayan en la misma línea, ¿no? O sea que yo creo que me encanta el dato que has dado, que conecta mucho con la forma de liderar, por ejemplo, que a mí me gusta y con lo que trato de enseñar, y que sí, que ojalá que todo el mundo pues pueda entender que sí, que las mujeres pueden practicar deporte y además pues luego trasladarlo al tema de la industria, ¿no? Que hace tanta falta tener mujeres en esas posiciones de liderazgo, o sea que me encanta que haya mujeres en esa posición.
Definitivamente. Y bueno, ya que estamos inspiradas, Ivy, cuéntanos un poco, what inspired you to pursue a career as a Latina in sports media?
Well, funny enough, I played soccer and softball when I was very young, and I was terrible. Terrible.
Aren't we all?
No, that was bad. But my love for sports started when I was very young. I have 3 older sisters, and growing up, I would watch las telenovelas with my mom. And then I would, go outside and see my dad watching sports alone, because my older sisters had zero interest in learning anything about sports. I felt really bad for him because he had no one to hang out with, talk to, share that moment with. So I asked him one day to teach me, to show me, what it is, why he likes sports so much. And he did. And then, so I started spending a lot more time with my dad in the evenings after homework and after I, spent time with my mom. And then, so he taught me about sports, and he taught me all the rules. He taught me the teams, everything for baseball, basketball, football, soccer, boxing, wrestling, everything. So I learned a lot from my dad. So I grew up having an appreciation for what sports does. So we root for our team, we root for our home country, but also for me, it meant, bringing that happiness to my dad and for me as well. So we, every summer we would go and see games and spring training. We would go to spring training games. So, and I had that bond with him. And to me it was very special. So I knew that I wanted to have a career in sports or be involved in sports. I never thought that my path would be in television. I just happened to fall in love with TV, and I was able to merge the two. But I always knew that I wanted to somehow be involved in sports just because of the happiness that it brought to me in my personal life when I was growing up, and that bond that I was able to share with my father. So to me, sports is more than just rooting for your team. It's being able to spend that time with your family, with your kids, with your husband, with your significant other, your wife, whoever it may be, your friends, or yourself, and just having that moment and being in that moment and rooting for your team. It to me, it's more than that.
Oh, what a beautiful story. And thank you for mentioning Dad, by the way, because I feel for many of us, that's where the love for sports really begins, en la sala con papá. And, I know that you may not realize it every day, but this is such a 360 moment, because the fact that you are in a leadership position as a Latina in sports, that alone is such a source of inspiration for those coming, those younger girls coming behind you who may have never even aspired to the position that you're in because it's never been traditionally marketed to them, right? So I can't imagine how incredibly proud Dad must be of seeing his little girl changing the game every day so that other girl dads don't have to feel so alone out there.
Yes, he is incredibly proud of me, my mom, as well my sisters, obviously my husband, my kids, my boys. Before we started the podcast, you saw that I took a picture because I send it to them all the time because, they're little, so they quite don't understand how TV works. But they know that mom does something important, and that, whenever they turn the TV on, that myself and my colleagues, we were able to bring that to hundreds of thousands of people, and a major sporting event, they know that mom's not home because she's doing something very important.
Absolutely.
So, but yes, it is a sense of pride for me personally, and a sense of responsibility as well.
Absolutely, right there with you. And Natalia, you kicked off your football journey in your native Spain. Now that we're talking about dreams, talk to us about what inspired you to make the jump to continue your career here in the U.S.
Well, I always admired the competitive mindset that the American people have, no? And when I was younger here in Spain, I was watching the commercials, and the American people put Mia Hamm with Michael Jordan, right? And in Spain, Michael Jordan was like, and I knew Mia Hamm, but of course was a woman, and it was more difficult, no, to see Mia Hamm in a commercial. And in the moment that I saw this, I thought, these American people is amazing, no? They are able to respect, to put Mia Hamm in the same level that Michael Jordan, that of course he deserves this, no? But it was very rare to see this. And then I say, I need to go there, no? This was like an inspiration to go to US, because I always felt like the society respect the women, respect the sport. It's very easy, no? The girls can practice soccer, for example, no? When other countries, for example, here in Spain, now it's better, but was very difficult because the society thought that it's only for men. So I felt like always in US there are this respect for the sports, for the women in the sport, and this is the reason that I wanted to be there.
So you felt you had more opportunity here.
Yes, absolutely. And this is what I thought when I was younger, and now that I am working and living there, I believe, and I can say that is true, right? That I have a lot more opportunities, for example, for my work being there than in other countries.
And would you say that you have officially reached your American dream?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. For me, it was like a very difficult, leave the family and go alone, like an adventure, but absolutely I'm living my dream, because I can say like I am working and living about my passion, no? I'm being a soccer coach, and now in the TV being women. I feel like it's not easy, and I have this opportunity that in other countries I don't have this opportunity.
That's amazing. And in a way, you're also making history here. You made history here in the United States. You were one of the first women, along with Amelia Valverde, I believe, in the FIFA World Cup Qatar to call a semifinal match, which was amazing as well. So, nada, éxitos, Natalia, para todo lo que venga en tu camino. Y we can't wait to see you bring your best commentary to our screen.
Thank you.
So my final question for both of you is a very important one, and that is, what message do you each want to give the team you're cheering on? Evie, we'll start with you.
Go USA.
That's a good one.
Sorry. Natalia, I know Spain is playing.
Didn't we make this obvious at the beginning?
No. Listen, I'm from Nicaragua, and I grew up in United States. I moved here when I was 4 years old. If Nicaragua would be playing, I would be cheering for Nicaragua, but go Team USA. I want to see that three-peat. That's an amazing feat for any country to be able to be in that position, to be able to bring home a third championship. Wow, that's amazing. So, but no, Team USA.
Natalia, what about you?
I was cheering for US as well. I feel like I'm living there, and they give me the opportunity to, be part of US soccer this last year. I was cheering for them. I don't know what will happen if US play against Spain, but for now, when this is not in the schedule, I will support in US. If this happens, then I will let you know what I say. But for now, I cheer in US, and I will tell them let's go and show the world that they can play a beautiful soccer. Because for me, it's not only about win. For me, I would love that US can show everybody that these ladies play a beautiful soccer.
Well said. Y bueno, chicas, ahora sí hemos llegado al momento del claquetazo en la cancha.
This makes me nervous.
Well, this is what I like to call the best part of the show. Okay, this is the fun part of the show. So, les cuento un poco. El claquetazo es un juego súper divertido donde les vamos a dar a cada una de ustedes 15 segundos para que nos den 5 respuestas dentro de una categoría sorpresa. Okay. Here's the catch, though. You can't say or any kind of filler word like that. If you do, you will give a pass to the next person, and the winner is going home with a Backstage con Telemundo souvenir and eternal bragging rights on the show. Sounds like a game plan?
Sounds like a game plan. Yeah,
Evie's already nervous. All right, let's get this game started. Natalia, you're up first. You will hear me cue time in, and you'll hear the buzzer when time is out, okay?
Perfect.
All right, Natalia. So your category is name us the last 5 Women's World Cup host nations. Time starts now.
France, Canada.
You said It's okay. You have one more pass. All right, Evie, are you ready for this? Evie's like nodding her head right now. All right.
Next question.
Ready? Name us 5 2023 Women's World Cup Latin American or Hispanic teams. Time starts now.
Argentina, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, Brazil, Spain.
Congratulations! Yes, 1 point for you, Evie. All righty. Natalia, we're back to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Name us 5 Women's World Cup runner-up teams. Time starts now.
Germany.
Yes.
Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
China.
Yes. 2 more.
Sweden.
Yes. 1 more.
And Japan.
Yes, that is correct.
Woo-hoo!
Awesome. So we have 1-1. And now, Evie, this one's for the win. No pressure.
Okay.
Name us 4 Women's World Cup champions. Time starts now.
USA. Sweden.
Nope.
All I know is USA.
Officially, history has been made. We have a 1-1 in El Claquetazo. So because we make our own rules here at Backstage, we're saying you both are going home with souvenirs and you both are champions of El Claquetazo en la cancha. How does that sound?
Fantastic, and I can't believe that I'm the other champion.
She's Googling right now, guys.
I'm upset. I should know this.
Evie, Natalia, thank you both so much for being with us here today and for giving us a backfield pass inside the Women's World Cup coming to Telemundo, Universo, and Peacock in Spanish, July 20th to August 20th. And for all of our listeners out there, let us know your thoughts on this episode in the comments and be sure to subscribe on YouTube at Backstage con Telemundo. Hasta la próxima.
Ya que nos encontraste, no olvides suscribirte a nuestra página para conocer todos los detalles de la Copa Mundial Femenina de la FIFA 2023. Reviviremos las mejores jugadas y tenemos los resúmenes más completos de todos los partidos. ¡Te esperamos!